9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, Timeless Elite, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this Wednesday edition. We're kicking off Dynamite with the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF. Talking about Darby. Oh, look. From one jerk to a big creep, Don Callis. And of course, Don Callis is sucking up. And I can tell you, Andrade wasn't happy that Don Callis made the deal with MJF. Kyle Fletcher wasn't happy. So, I'm pretty sure Don Callis is going to be watching very, very closely on that. And also, and if you were with me earlier today, please make sure to check out the poll on Women's Wrestling Talk right now. Who do you think is the ultimate GOAT of women's wrestling? I'm actually going to put that in the chat right now before I forget. Man, I never heard Renee yell. Is he really like an idiot? They've been advertising this since Sunday. Oh my God. He did not know he's facing Darby Allin tonight. And I thought it was in Everett, but I thought it was in Seattle, but it's Everett. And oh my God, they're really going to kick it off tonight. They're really going to kick it off? The AEW World title? Oh my. They really want to stop off Pop. Darby Allin. Will Darby Allin get his opportunity? Because if you recall, because I thought they were in Seattle, but they're in Everett, which that's where Darby Allin trained. It kind of is a full circle moment because when they were in Seattle, Darby Allin won the TNT championship against Samoa Joe. Well, I don't know if Tony Khan's desperate. I think he just wants to put on a good show. And also it is WrestleMania week, as we said. You know, a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff. But, yeah, it's like a suburb of Seattle. But the last time they were in Seattle, Darby Allin won the TNT championship against Samoa Joe. Will history repeat itself? I don't know. I mean, I said this on WWT earlier today. I would love for Darby to be champion. I don't want it to be like a cheap win and be like, here you go. This is your belt. I want it to be at least organic, authentic, because this is like a long time coming for Darby. And here comes the reigning and defending AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And it's kind of crazy. Like, these guys have so much history. Uh-oh. And he's coming out with a mic and he's complaining. I think this is going to be the main event. I think it's going to be the main event. He called him an evil freak. 3 seconds ago, Tony's been talking about this in Dynasty. Tony's been talking about this in the media scrum. Jeez, you're taking on Aubrey? Jeez, Justin Roberts? You really want to sue Tony Khan? Tony Khan has so much money in the world you can't even say. Jeez, talking bad about Washington. They said ring the bell. my god. Oh Lord. So, Darby was in a match against Andrade. Yeah, I think this is going to be the main event. And I think they took a playbook out of Mankind versus The Rock. Because you remember how Mankind was able to get a title shot. What's he doing? Why are you taking? Oh, I guess the mic. Well, he is a former TNT and tag team champion. And it's funny, the last time they met was for the AEW World title at Full Gear when he was champion. It's a good match, though. Washington. Never be ready. Well, it's been a long time coming for Darby. It's been a long time. And that is true. He did climb Mount Everest. You can't say nothing bad about him. I just hope they don't do the same playbook he did the last time he had a shot and Mox took it from him. Well, at least he's honest about that. He's not going to change about anything about himself. They say ring the bell. Ring the bell. Huh? Oh, Bryan Danielson! Brian's got a message from Boss Man. For once. But there's always a loophole. I kind of knew it like that. I knew it was going to be the main event because they teased it. If you remember from how Mick Foley won the title, it was in the main event. So it will be the main event, Darby versus MJF for the world title. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to be the main event, but it is official. That is our main event. And also, if he doesn't compete, he'll be stripped of the AEW world title. Darby made it clear. He's coming for Max. Oh lordy. He ran into the ring post. Well, we do have that as our main event. We're on the road to Double or Nothing, which is during Memorial Day, Sunday, May 24th. We also are going to have the TBS Championship match. Willow Nightingale taking on a returning Kamille. We're also going to have the new TNT champion, Kevin Knight, take on Claudio Castagnoli. And we're also going to hear from Renee Paquette regarding Chris Jericho. Oh, and this is from Dynasty. Tony Schiavone talks to Kenny Omega. And he wanted to check to see how he's doing. And Kenny doesn't know what to say. And we see Will Ospreay. Who would have thought these two would be sitting in the same room? Oh, yeah, they're doing Winnie. So Kenny Omega is saying, well, Ospreay is leading the pack. I still believe he will be AEW World Champion at Allin, Wembley Stadium. Yes, that's the goal, Will! That is the goal! A lot of respect for one another between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. A lot of respect. Kenny's not going to give up. I think he's going to get back into his groove. He'll find a way. He'll find a way. Shout out. I'm looking at the chat. Shout out to Jordan from Canada. Jeffrey is here. Yes, Boza, you did mention it. I did mention it today. The Owen Hart Cup men and women's tournament. We should find out who is going to be in the tournament. Hopefully soon. Kenny still has a chance. I know he's frustrated. Well, that was from Dynasty. And we have a bonus match that was announced earlier today because I found this out in the chat. We're going to have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Desmond Xavier. Also, another bonus match that we have, Will Ospreay is going to take on the CML World Heavyweight Champion Hechicero from the Don Callis family. As I mentioned, Kevin Knight's taking on Claudio Castagnoli for the TNT Championship. Willow Nightingale's taking on a returning Kamille for the TBS title. We're going to hear from Chris Jericho as he sits down with Renee Paquette. And we're also going to hear from FTR, who retained their AEW tag team titles. So that's all that's happening at AEW Dynamite happening. And just a friendly reminder regarding programming, AEW Collision will be on tomorrow night instead of Saturday. It'll be on tomorrow, 8 p.m. on TNT. So make sure to set your DVRs, recorder, your reminders, everything. It will be on tomorrow night. So, but it was nice to see Bryan Danielson get, even though he can't wrestle for the time being, quote unquote, can't wrestle, but it was nice to see Bryan Danielson get some lick back from MJF. But this is going to be a fun match. Tommaso Ciampa, Desmond Xavier, because we did see Tommaso Ciampa in the gauntlet match for the Casino Gauntlet for the TNT Championship, which was a really good, solid match. We had so many people in there. We had him, Daniel Garcia, Pac, Bandino, Roosh, Anthony Bowens, Speedball Mike Bailey, Bandino, so many other people. It was a really good, solid match, but this is going to be a fun match. And also with the fact, too, the Rascals are just slowly getting in there in a way. I mean, we saw Myron Reed face off against Kazuchika Okada for the AEW International Championship, which was a good match. But it's time for Desmond Xavier to get some singles action. I think it's going to be really fun. And feel free to put in the channel who you guys got winning this thing. Do you have Tommaso Ciampa or do you have Desmond Xavier? Because I can see two of these guys being solid contenders for the new TNT champion in Kevin Knight, who we will see later tonight against Claudio Castagnoli. But here we go. Tommaso Ciampa putting a kick onto Desmond Xavier. And Tommaso Ciampa is doing what the Psycho Killer does best. And you have Miss Referee Stefan in the ring. And if you're hanging out with me, it is Timeless Elite Wednesdays. And you just found out the main event will be the AEW World Heavyweight title. MJF taking on Darby Allin. That is our main event in Everett, Washington, which is not too far from Seattle. Shout out to Michael Vasquez in the chat. Shout out to all of you on a Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing very, very well on a Wednesday because, as I mentioned, it is WrestleMania week. It's WrestleMania week. There's a lot of things happening. We do have a few people from WWT that are on the ground this week. Obviously, of course, some of us who couldn't make the trip, we're doing the best we can because we will be watching from our homes. Make sure to check out the Kayfabe podcast tomorrow because they're going to be doing bold predictions on WWT Live. We're going to be doing bold predictions, so you do not want to miss everything that's happening there. Oh, that's nice, Jordan. Andrade wished Darby good luck on Twitter because I think after they shook hands, there's a lot of respect. And if you notice, Andrade was not too pleased that that Don Callis made a deal with MJF. So, yeah, he wasn't too pleased. Wasn't too pleased about it. But going back to this match between Tommaso Ciampa and Desmond Xavier, these guys are pretty much even with each other. And it's kind of like a throwback to NXT, by the way. It's kind of like a throwback, callback, as you would say. But Tommaso Ciampa's doing the Psycho Killer. That was a nice move by Desmond Xavier. And it's nice the Rascals are starting to find their groove and their mellow and everything. I know, Jeffrey. It's like a callback. Two guys from NXT. And now they're in AEW. Tommaso Ciampa is mimicking the Rascals. So as I said, we see the commercial for AEW Collision. As I mentioned, friendly reminder, programming for Collision is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. And also TNA is on tomorrow night too. So, yeah, make sure it's going to be a double dose of wrestling tomorrow. And that's okay. Oh, great. Even though it's on picture-in-picture. I know, Jeffrey. Even though it's on picture-in-picture, I can't even hear what Ciampa is saying. Because I'm watching this on cable and I'm looking at the picture-in-picture. So it's like, ugh. Wow. That's really... So Jordan from Canada, you talked about Desmond Xavier being let go. Well, if you're with us last year, I think it was close to the end of the year, WWE, of course, does their round of cuts in a way. Their releases, sometimes they do it after WrestleMania, but usually sometimes like towards the end of the year. And unfortunately, his name was put up there. Shockingly enough, it just came out of nowhere, but we don't know what happens behind closed doors when it comes to contracts, because at the end of the day, it's an internal issue. And do wish people the best of luck when they get released. And Matt Cardona said it best: you can either wallow and weep in sorrow, or you could take this as fuel and reinvent yourself. And that's something Desmond Xavier did. He recently wrestled in Ring of Honor. House of Glory, by the way. House of Glory. And now he's signed along with members of the Rascals to AEW. So I'm happy he's getting a second chance at this, and also really want him to do well in AEW. I think the Rascals are definitely going to do well, not just in tag team divisions, but also in trios division, and really put a lot of oomph in it. And this should be a really good match between them. But there's a lot of good stuff in AEW. I mean, like I said, I know, because I did watch Kayfabe episode last week, and Dion and Will were being sourpusses when Honey was talking about Chris Jericho. But look, I get AEW is not everyone's cup of tea, but they do have some good stuff happening. It may not be the best stuff in your liking, but they're doing great stuff, and I'm happy for that. So hold on, I'm trying to find my water. Here we go. I got my water. But, I'm going to support AEW. Still going to give it criticism, but I want them to be great. Just setting up this, and we are back live with AEW Dynamite happening. We have one of two bonus matches happening. We have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Desmond Xavier. And as you recall, I had a thought and I don't know what happened. But Tommaso Ciampa competed in the gauntlet battle, casino gauntlet for the TNT championship, and Desmond Xavier's building a lot of momentum. So I think both of them are trying to continue momentum and trying to get in that picture for the TNT championship, because I do see both of them being potential contenders for Kevin Knight. I know, Jeffrey, you started watching. Wait, you stopped watching the AEW and you watched it when Mercedes was there? Come on. I mean, well, to be fair, Mercedes is a draw. But I watched AEW way before she came along. But, everybody has to have a taste. I mean, Toni Storm's the reason I got into AEW. And I met her before she was toneless. And look at her now. And of course, I got to support, all the ladies in the division, because this is Women's Wrestling Talk. We support all things women's wrestling. And of course, I don't like to say clients. I like to be advocates for some people. Obviously, of course, Toni Storm, Orange Cassidy, the Rolling Birds, Alex Winslow, and Jamie Hayter, and of course, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Always love to make sure to support them, because they need that support. Because sometimes people want to be with you when you're the hottest thing in the world, but when you're not, that's where everybody disappears. So I get to be supportive in their corner. Let's see. Ooh, Desmond Xavier was going for 450 splash, but Ciampa came in and threw a sucker punch at Desmond. Oh, Jordan from Canada says Tony Schiavone said the fans were chanting bald, and Ciampa took the mic and said, "I'm not Ricochet. Leave it to for him." Well, that is true. Yeah, without me, but yeah. What's Desmond doing here? Going off the top rope. 1, 2, quick kick out by Ciampa. Well, to be fair, Ciampa is bald, but usually I think anybody that comes out that's bald, they chant. Except Don Callis, because they always say F Don Callis. But That's just music to my ears because I can't stand that treat. Match made for Collision. The Young Bucks will be taking on the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed. That should be a good match for Collision. Obviously, the Young Bucks are trying to get back in the tag team title picture, which I think it's going to be a triple threat between them, FTR, and Edge and Christian at Double or Nothing. But yay! I mean, you can tell by my sarcastic. Yay! Confetti. We're going back to this match with Ciampa and Desmond. And it's nice that they're getting some airtime on Dynamite. Oh, man, that was a nasty. That was a very nasty. It looked like a nasty backbreaker. What's Ciampa going to do right here? He's trying to go for the knee because he's putting down his knee pad to expose his bare knee. Oh, man, that has to be it. Yeah, that's it. Desmond Xavier is not that cold. Your winner is Tommaso Ciampa. He wants that TN. Oh, he has a microphone in his hand. What is he going to say? He wants gold. Oh, Ciampa wants AEW gold. He wants AEW world title. Oh, man. He's really going for the top title. So whoever wins. Wow, there. I will say this because I think I said this on Dynasty. AEW's men's division is a lot more interesting than WWE because there's so many contenders out there that do have a legit shot for the title. And they're showing the promo from Darby Allin on socials. They're showing him from his early years in AEW when he was in Mount Everest, when he climbed Mount Everest. It's interesting seeing like the early years of AEW when they were like little babies. And then when he came back at Allin, Texas. You think so? I think I said it too. I said I would like to see Darby win it. Because even though they're in Everett, which is like outside of Seattle, the last time they were in Seattle, Darby Allin won the TNT championship against Samoa Joe. And they're showing what happened at Dynasty this past week. Darby Allin taking on Andrade. And they're showing the clip from when they feuded the first time around. It's kind of weird. Like when AEW first started, they were like little babies. I mean, Bosa, why not do that free? Hey, listen, if you want to pull off a shocker, and if they want to do moments, gotta do it on TV. Not everything has to be on pay-per-view, but you can do some stuff on TV. I know, exactly. Right? I mean, how many wrestlers can say that they climbed Mount Everest and they came back in one piece? And he did it. He did it. You can't, I mean, look, Darby Allin has had his moments. Granted, he's had some skeletons in the closet. I can admit on that, but you can't deny the stuff that he's done. And also the fact too, having a lot of balls to climb Mount Everest, that's pretty awesome. But we go for the AEW World Titles to the AEW Tag Team Titles with FTR And that Weasel Stokely after an interesting finish from Dynasty over the weekend because it looks like I said, we may have a triple threat looming between them, Edge and Christian, and the Young Bucks. Yay! You can see the imaginary confetti floating around, me being sarcastic. Well, I guess we're going to hear what that little weasel has to say, gloating about the tarnished victory. Oh, he's giving it to Dax. Let's hear what he has to say. And we're going to hear from Edge tomorrow on Collision. I'm surprised they ain't training bald. Okay, losers. Well, Dax making a point to Edge and Christian say they'll never get a shot as long as they're champs. Oh, Lordy, I gotta listen to this weasel. It makes me sad because some of these tag teams are not there. Like Private Party, Quen is hurt. Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus is hurt. My guys, Caster and Bowens, they're doing their separate thing. Well, I think everybody should know the story of David versus Goliath. It's a shame Private Party can't even get a shot with Quen hurt and Jurassic Express because with Luchasaurus. Then with Caster and Bowens because I have them reuniting right before Wembley hits. I'm surprised they didn't face off against the Gates of Agony. If they do a 5-second pose, oh my God. They're doing a moment of silence. I was going to say they should have did a 5-second pose. That would have been so sassy. that would have been savage if they did a 5-second pose. Oh my God! They just pulled an Edge and Christian flash of photography. language. Yeah, that is true. That's giving infringement. Oh, come on. Oh, Lordy. I can't believe they did that. Wow. Stole their signature pose. Shame on you. Well, that was an interesting promo by our tag team champions, but I'm sure Mr. Edge is going to say something tomorrow. Wow. Well, Boza, to be fair, you kind of need to in a way to help out the tag team division. And at this point, as I said, it just makes me sad because Private Party's a little bit on hiatus with Quen being hurt, taken out for the Death Fighters. Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus is still hurt. Shoot, there's another tag team that's in my head. I know I brought up Castor and Bowens, but I said they'll probably reunite when it gets closer to Wembley Stadium. You don't want to ruin the story yet. You don't want to ruin that yet. But yeah. I'm surprised the Gates of Agony don't have a shot. And I know the Infantry, they're the reigning Ring of Honor Trios champions, but I would love to see them back in the picture. Yeah, I know. It's like Quinn's hurt. Well, Boza, I don't know about Jet Speed because with the fact Kevin Knight is the reigning TNT champion. Now, if they didn't have the belts, I would have said Jet Speed and Heartbeat. And I don't want to put in the Hurt Syndicate because, you know, there was alleged reports when the Hurt Syndicate was tag team champions, they didn't want to drop the belts to FTR. So there was a lot of egos there. And I'd rather Bobby Lashley go for the AEW World title. I would love for Shelton Benjamin to go for either the AEW title or the International Championship. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see how the tag team picture looks like. I know there should be some, or oh my God, I can't believe I didn't mention this. The Outrunners. Where the Outrunners need their lick back. They had a good storyline with FTR and they need to run it back. So Jeffrey Colton is out with an injury. It's just Austin and Juice and Ace Austin with the bang banging. So Colton is out with an injury. Don't know when he's going to come back. So that's another thing. I know the Outrunners are in Ring of Honor and the Outrunners have a beef with FTR and that would make so much sense. But up next, since Boza, you brought up Jet Speed, we have the TNT title on the line. Kevin Knight taking on Claudio Castagnoli. And I'm sure the Death Riders will be on foot because they have the synergy. And thank you for the compliment, Jordan from Canada. This is Mickey Mouse. And I do love that shirt. This is why we should have had orange juice. Right? That would have been a good tag team. But congratulations to my guy, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. They are the new AEW Trios champions. I know some people were kind of fussing about what happened, but Gabe Kidd suffered a serious injury. So I'm very curious on what the conglomeration is going to do. The Outrunners are, yeah, right? The Outrunners are your spirit animal. I think they have a cult following, and I'm surprised they didn't get their lick back from FTR because there's still some story around them. But I don't know. We shall see. But here comes the TNT Championship match where Claudio is getting ready to come in, taking on the Jet, Kevin Knight. And it's crazy. Kevin Knight has had a pretty solid year. And look at backstage. Every member of the Death Riders backstage. There's John Moxley. That little runt Wheeler Yuta. Daniel Garcia, Pac, Marina Shafir. John Moxley successfully retained his Continental Championship match against Will Ospreay over the weekend. John might have won the battle, but there is still war between Will Ospreay and Mox. And here comes Miss Renee. She's going to do her ringside reporting regarding what's happening with the TNT Championship. And I do like the jacket that she has. Yes, they are. And it's crazy. Kevin Knight is just one of those people. He came last year at Dynasty. was in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament, facing off against Will Ospreay, teaming up with Speedball Mike Bailey, just building so much momentum as a tag team and single star, being in the Continental Classic, and just doing amazing things. And also, he's off the market, ladies, because he's dating Miss Mara Sade from TNA. So he is doing very, very well for himself. And the future is bright for the Jet, Kevin Knight. And I really want him to do amazing things. I really, really do. But there's his tag team partner, Speedball, in his corner. I'm not gonna lie, he has a dope jacket, Kevin Knight. That is a really dope jacket. I want to know who made that jacket. Jeffrey, I know, Jeffrey, you love Miss Mara Sade, but and just shout out to Ala Bugwathy. I got to meet Mercedes Monet in Winnipeg 2 weeks ago. That's nice to hear. I'm glad Mercedes was very, very nice to you. And I'm happy to hear she's doing great. She's traveling all over the world. She's doing what she does best. And she's a great wrestler. She put on a lot of bangers. And she will be back on television soon. But before she gets to the AEW World Women's title picture, she has some problems she's got to settle with Kamille first. But we'll talk about that during their match. But here we go. We have the TNT Championship match. Kevin Knight taking on Claudio Castagnoli. And yes, Jordan from Canada, he does look like $1 million. He got a new haircut. He got some shades in. If you were joining on WWT Live, apparently Will put a conspiracy that Kevin Knight and Leon Slater are the same person. But I don't know if that's going to happen. All right. That was a hard clothesline by Claudio. Oh, man. Claudio is really putting on a... Yeah, that's true. Claudio's in amazing shape. And I said this, too. He's in amazing shape. Even since his return from injury, Pac is in amazing shape. So, but this should be a good match. But yes, AEW has the NFL official licensed luchador mask, which is pretty cool. And with the fact, too, Tony Khan works for an NFL team. So that's even much of a banger as well. And I just love it. I love it. Oh, let me fix my camera. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this match. Do you have Kevin Knight retaining? Or do you have Claudio winning? Or do you think there's going to be shenanigans in this match? Because when I said this, I feel like there's no issues with... I think the issues with Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay are still going to be heated. Very curious what's going to happen with Anarchy in the arena, because it could be women's Anarchy arena, or it could be it could be Ospreay versus the Death Riders in an Anarchy in the arena for the men's, which makes a lot more sense. Because that was a nice move by Kevin Knight. Because I can't think of anybody from the men's division. I mean, if you want to put in the Don Callis family. But it looks like the Don Callis family, 2 of their members are in peril between Okada and Takeshita, because I believe that match is going to happen at Wembley Stadium. If it doesn't happen at Wembley Stadium, I can see it happening at... Yeah, it has to happen at Wembley Stadium, Takeshita and Okada, because I want to see this build up a little bit further, and I can see it happening. But a lot of people in the chat are saying Kevin Knight. Jeffrey Jordan from Canada is saying Kevin. Yeah, I think Kevin Knight's going to retain. I really want him to have a really good, solid reign, face off against a lot of people in the TNT Championship match, and really put on not just banger of matches, but storyline purposes. And I'm also very curious who's going to be next in line for Jon Moxley's Continental Championship. because I know he's feuding with Will Ospreay, but I'm very curious on who is going to be the next legit contender. Tekla is going to talk. Really? So we're going to hear from the AEW Women's Champion, Tekla. If you saw my thoughts, on women's wrestling talk on socials and on Monday, Tekla did win the belt in controversial fashion, and I am going to say it's on behalf of advocating for Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter is going to beat the shit out of Tekla. If you think that she's not going to forget what happened to her, yeah, that could be another thing coming, because I could see Jamie Hayter beating the shit out of her, and I do think they can make a banger of a story. And also with the fact, too, you have many women on your last roster that you could do it, too. Oh, and on commercial, they're showing the new Michael movie that's coming out April 24th. I have seen reviews of it, but I'll give it a try because I do like movies. So I'll give it a try. I also need to see the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie because I heard that was good, too. Yes, Jordan from Canada, they do have a roster. They just need to be better at storylines. That's the thing. It's like they have so many people on the roster, but they need to build up on consistent storylines. And also utilize some people on the roster they haven't used that's in back of catering. But yes, Jeffrey, my gal Jamie Hayter needs a rematch. She needs one. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite with the TNT Championship match. We have Claudio Castagnoli taking on the new and reigning champ, the Jet, Kevin Knight. Claudio's really is. Quick roll out 1, 2, quick kick out from Claudio. 2, quick kick out again from Claudio. Oh, that was a nasty uppercut. That was a nasty uppercut. I'm not going to lie. Nice counter by Kevin Knight. And one of my bold predictions I had this year, he's going to win the 2026 Continental Classic. That is my bold prediction I have for Kevin. Oh, yes. Playoff paddler. That is cute for Collision next weekend. Next week, we're going to be at Portland. After that, Virginia. Yeah, they're going to be traveling a lot in Illinois. Oh, that was a nice suplex that Kevin Knight did. I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty nice suplex. That was a nice. Yeah, they're traveling. AEW is traveling a lot because they're on the road to Double or Nothing. They're gonna be in Queens, New York City. I mean, come on, you gotta go big when you're in New York. What's Kevin gonna do here? Nice move by Kevin Knight going off the top rope. That's why he's called the Jet. He is called the Jet. All right, he's pulling Claudio back in the ring. Fans are trying to get behind him. And also, I just want to say thank you all for joining with me on a Wednesday. Because like I said, it is WrestleMania week. You could be anywhere else, but you wanted to hang with me for AEW Dynamite because, of course, we got much wrestling to cover throughout this week. We have Dynamite tonight. Tomorrow night, we have AEW Collision. And also TNA wrestling happening tomorrow night as well. So make sure to set your DVRs. Friday, obviously, is SmackDown. And, yeah, this weekend is WrestleMania. Saturday and Sunday. But look at the strength of Claudio. His strength is crazy. There's a reason why he was CMLL World Heavyweight Champion. Just look at the power. And also delivering a good, solid performance on the Continental Classic last year. That says it all right there. And shout out to Frederick Cole in the chat. Oh my God. Claudio just did a nasty uppercut on Kevin Hart. Quick kick out by Kevin Knight. I thought Kevin was knocked out. You know the one thing I wish, because they always have these different themes for Spring Breakthrough. I wish the whole setting was like a Spring Break theme. And another match announced for Collision tomorrow night. We have an AEW Continental Championship Eliminator match. Jon Moxley taking on the Ring of Honor Television Champion Nick Wayne. That should be a good match. So we do have a few matches for Collision. We have that match. We have the Young Bucks taking on the Rascals. We also gonna have Edge speak tomorrow. Oh, nice! That's the person that's playing Michael. I'm definitely gonna see that movie. And he's doing the swings onto Kevin Knight. The swings. That would be interesting, Boza, because I have seen that pop up on Ring of Honor lately. So that would be interesting if they intersected with Collision. Kevin Knight. Get on the top rope, Kevin. It has to be it. That's be it. 1, 2, 3. And your winner and still TNT champion is the Jet Kevin Knight. And that is true, Boza. That's Continental Rules tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Jon Moxley will be facing off against Nick Wayne. So awesome to see. And in the Pacific Northwest, and also it makes sense for Bryan Danielson because he has an easy ride home because he's from Washington. Shout out to Jeff Metterling in the chat. Oh, Kevin's about to speak. Let's see what the Jet has to say. Jet City. He's giving his respect to Claudio. I wonder if they're going to set him up in a feud with Kyle when he comes back. I guess. Well, I think everybody's throwing their name, and it's going to be very competitive to see. I mean, everyone's throwing out their name in the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. Ciampa, Kevin Knight. I mean, Kyle Fletcher did last year when he was TNT champion. I actually do like the men's division in AEW because it's nice to refreshing to see that. And also with the fact, too, you're giving some stars a chance and an opportunity. And I do like that. I do like it because we're seeing it with Kevin Knight. We're seeing it with Speedball. We are obviously, of course, with Will Ospreay. And also some of their people that have been there from day one, like Darby and Orange. And hopefully we can see the rise of Kyle O'Reilly because he just came back. Roddy. I mean, obviously, I'm still going to throw in Caster and Bowens because even though they were former tag team champions and trio champions, I do believe they have the versatility of not just doing tag team, but also doing singles wrestling as well and help elevate themselves. I mean, obviously, you could put Swerve in, Tony, Willow. We're definitely seeing the rise of not just, Jamie Hayter after sustaining an injury and everything else, but Alex, or should I say Worldwide Windsor, because she is the reigning New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She's teaming up with Jamie Hayter for the Brawling Birds. Teaming up for the Birds. But since we're on commercial, and right before Renee Paquette interviews Chris Jericho, we're going to talk about the Women's Wrestling Archive, because this is a project that Boss Lady TK Trinidad did. And she is on the ground at Vegas. And we get to celebrate the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate $1, $5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything that needs to come with the Women's Wrestling Archive. Every little bit helps. $1, $2, $3, everything else that happens. So make sure to support the Women's Wrestling Archive. Also, we do have a poll happening on our website. I did put our website in the chat, but I may do it again during our chat as well. Who do you think is the true GOAT of women's wrestling? That is the question. So let me put the link in the chat, and you can go on our website and you can put in who do you think is the GOAT wrestler when it comes to women's wrestling. And we saw the return of Chris Jericho. He came back and seeing his match against Ricochet. It was a good solid match that Chris did. He put on a really good solid match, especially for a person that's in his 50s, by the way. He is really, really putting in the work. So I'm happy for him. But of course, Ricochet got the win. So here we go. Renee, sing along. Oh, stop. Jericho should have won. Jeffrey, you're saying Chris Jericho should have won? Some people were saying he was going to lose. Had to fend off. I know, he did. And sell you out. I am cold like December snow. See, I'm just going to keep singing it just to annoy some people. Yeah, Ricochet did win because of the Gates of Agony, but I do like the red jacket he has on. The one thing I will say about Chris Jericho, and I've noticed about the years, he's always had such a good, solid taste when it comes to fashion. He's always had good, solid taste when it comes to like fashion. It's just, I love the clothes, the jacket. It's just, he stays sharp. I just want to know where he gets his clothes from, because it feels like he always has a cool jacket or something. Shout out to Jeffrey Jeffrey. Shout out to Eddie Foster in the chat. I hope you guys are doing well on a Wednesday. I know it's WrestleMania week, but thank you for joining with me on Timeless Elite Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And we're going to hear what Chris Jericho has to say from one Canadian to another with Renee Paquette. Chris is loving this. I just can't believe he's in his 50s and he looks that good. Uh-oh. you got to respect the work this man has put in for 20, 30, 35 years. Oh my God. Oh boy. I thought we were going to get rid of Ricochet at this point, but I guess he wanted to gloat. Like I said from last week, it would be pretty hilarious if Big Bill and Brian Keith came in out of nowhere. But I guess we got to hear this annoying bald nerd. Savage. That's a savage heel work. Oh, Lordy. The rise of Ricochet. Oh, Lordy. Oh, boy. Rico. They're chanting bald. Well, he is bald. He's bald. Everett Washington. Oh, Lordy. Allin out. Too scared and bald. That's funny. He's on the gates of agony. Stay there. Chris Jericho and Ricochet, yeah, they're going at it. Here you go. And ball. Yeah, that's funny. Jericho's really clothesline. I knew it was too good to be true. He had those goons out the gates of agony, but Chris is trying to do as much as he can. He's trying to do as much as he can. But 3-on-1, I mean, you kind of knew it was not going to be 1-on-1. It's like pretty much 3-on-1. Like I said, it would be kind of funny if Big Bill and Brian Keith came out because, well, it was the last time we saw all three of them together. Poor Chris. He can't handle them by himself. What's wrong with him? You know he can't handle the demand of Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet's Mr. Tough Guy, all right. Yeah, he's talking a lot of smack, Mr. Tough Guy. Jericho got beat down by the demand. What's he doing here? I don't think they're done yet. Oh, Lordy. Doing his own finisher move. I still call it the lion salt. It's the lion salt. Well, Jeff Metterling, that's going to be interesting because the last tag team we worked with was Big Bill and Brian Keith, and I know they're doing work on Ring of Honor. Yeah, we have the demand and Ricochet. I mean, that's what Chris does. He wants to put over some of these stars in AEW, which he's doing his part. And he is a performer. And we're also seeing what happened on Dynasty last weekend between the rift between Okada and Takeshita. I'm just waiting. I saw this on socials and I was cracking up so much. Takeshita was just mimicking him. It's only a matter of time. They're going to have a match at Wembley Stadium, and Takeshita's going to take back a title that he didn't get a rematch for. He's like, I'm so sorry. Takeshita! I just love it. He's so good. He's going to take that international title belt. Oh, please, be quiet, that little creep. And we have another bonus match happening. We have Hechicero taking on Will Ospreay. After Will Ospreay lost to Jon Moxley at Dynasty, he's looking for a fight. And then we did see him interact with Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is encouraging him to be the top guy in AEW. And his goal still stands that he needs to be AEW World Champion. And I believe it will happen at Wembley Stadium. I've been saying this since last year. I believe Will Ospreay is going to be champion. I know Jeffrey Will Ospreay walking. Well, I hope not either. But yeah, a lot of stars from AEW are going to be working WrestleMania week. And it's nice that they do this taping live. Well, they're going to be on double taping tonight for Dynamite and Collision. Spray. Oh, spray. His theme song is infectious. Oh, spray. Oh, spray. Oh, spray. Oh, spray. I can imagine. Oof. I know, Jeffrey, the neck. It's just I watched the whole match. It was a good match, but whew, the way that Jon Moxley just did it, and also that he's standing too, by the way. Oh lordy. Don, can you go away? Why is this creep doing here? Stupido. Oh lordy, Sarah. What? Jordan from Canada, you like Don Callis? Oh lordy, I can't believe you like that creep, Don Callis. He's a creep. He's a Mr. Peanut Ball jerk. That's what he is, and nobody likes Don Callis. But I will say the video that he put out posing as like a wrestling mark journalist, because that's not how a journalist is, but I thought it was hilarious. He was disguised as one. That was pretty funny. I was laughing my tail off because unfortunately some need to be learning the basics of journalism 101. But here comes the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, Hechicero. You're on timeout. Timeout for tonight. But we have Will Ospreay taking on Hechicero. He's like Bobby Eaton. Great. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, he's hilarious. And I will say this. Him and Prince Nana are bringing back managerial services and the importance of having a manager in wrestling. Because I think that's something WWE has not done, with the exception of Paul Heyman. And I love that Don Callis and Prince Nana are just bringing back the managerial skills. Because managers are important in the world of professional wrestling. And I'm happy that's coming back. But here we go. A bonus match. And oh lordy, I gotta listen to Don Callis on commentary. Here we go. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning. Don tries to be annoying. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this match. Do you have Will Ospreay or do you have Hechicero picking up the victory? Shout out to Hassan T. Popstars Terrell. And happy birthday to your sister. It is your sister's birthday, and I hope she has a wonderful birthday. So happy that you're in the chat. Happy you're spending time with me on Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me for AEW Dynamite as we continue the aftermath of AEW Dynasty. And we're getting on the road to AEW Double or Nothing happening next month in Queens, New York City. I'm going to see if I can try to go and do media for Double or Nothing because it's always a good opportunity put together by Don Callis. Oh, Don Callis. What am I going to do with you? And also, if you did watch WWT Live, breaking news that we had earlier today, courtesy of the Mercury, Forbidden Door will be back in the Bay, San Jose, California in June. Very excited that Forbidden Door is coming back in June. I know last year it was in August because of Allin Texas, but now since they're back on schedule with Allin, Wembley Stadium, it's nice that Forbidden Door is coming to the Bay. So if you are near San Jose, California, you're near the Bay Area, everywhere else, and you've never been to a wrestling show, definitely go to Forbidden Door. You do not want to be disappointed. And Hechicero is really taking advantage of Will Ospreay's taped neck. Yes, Boza is on the same day as TNA Slammiversary. So it's going to be nice. It's just a fun, harmless counter programming because you can watch Forbidden Door or you can watch Slammiversary. I know, Jeffrey, you would think Will Ospreay would take a week off, but he can be a little bit of a hothead and, you know, he wants to wrestle. Can't help himself, but I hope he does take some time off next week. Next week he takes some time off. There's no harm in taking some rest. No harm. And I also, for the commercial, I have picture-in-picture on this. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at its investigation discovery, and it's crazy some of these stories are coming out with these child stars and everything else. Also, Jerry Springer, these investigation discovery series. My God, they're doing like Hollywood Demons, they're doing. Wow. But also for investigation discovery, if you know, I love boy bands, and they just did a boy band documentary on investigation discovery. I'm actually going to take a look at that right before I watch WrestleMania this weekend, because there's some interesting things. And I'm very familiar with some of the stories within the boy band realm, but this gets a lot more deeper, and it's directed and produced by Joey Fatone. So I'm very curious, because I know some people I follow in the boy band realm have been watching this. So I get to watch firsthand on HBO, because it's on HBO Max right now. I get to watch part 1 and part 2 and just sit through. And yes, Jordan from Canada, it's nice to see Will Ospreay get a lot more muscle in him. Just checking to see what's going on socials, because obviously, of course, there's some people that are in WrestleMania. Yep, Discovery Channel's always good to go. I'm just checking to see what's happening on socials, because there's just so much buzzing happening right now. So obviously, of course, I have to really check out this. Oh, yes, definitely Jordan from Canada. They were huge during that period. But I love that they're incorporating like New Edition, New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men. Because they have to think, without Boys to Men, you would have not got NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and 98 Degrees. So I can't wait to see the full one, since now it's going to be on HBO Max. And we're back live with AEW Dynamite with another bonus match happening. Will Ospreay. Oh! Marina Shafir is in the crowd. We know with Jon Moxley, because Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley feuded. So it's interesting she's sitting in the crowd against Will Ospreay and Hechicero. Well, actually, not surprisingly enough, because we did see her face off against his fiance, Alex Windsor, where she retained the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Interesting. Marina. Yeah, for some reason, Jeffrey, I just don't think she popped up out of the blue, or unless she got an order, from John, because John's the person that always likes to give out captain orders. Oh, and we're going to hear from the AEW Women's Champion, Tekla. Like I said, Jamie Hayter's going to is really going to beat the shit out of her after what happened last week. Oh, and Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander are going to be in tag team action tomorrow night. And yes, both of that was Marina Shafir. I wouldn't be shocked if Marina Shafir took a jab at Alex Windsor. Absolutely, Boza. On behalf of being an advocate for Jamie Hayter, she has every right to be pissed. She has every right to. But she's in an interesting crosshairs, because she can go for the rematch, or the Brawling Birds can go for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships, because I feel like if there's a tag team that I can see take down both Megan and Lena Cross, I would say the Brawling Bird, since they're now starting to build them off a little bit slowly. I don't know if Mox is scared of Will. That's a whole different conversation. I know, but me neither. I mean, I don't want her to, but if her man, I will say this, Boza, and I'm saying this because I support Alex Windsor and I'm an advocate for her. If Marina tries to touch her man, you know Alex Windsor will be 5 seconds away to support her man. But like you said, I know you don't want her to get pulled in, but I think this would be good for her being in some different directions. I mean, obviously, of course, just don't ruin the Brawling Birds, boss man. Do not ruin the Brawling Birds. Don't ruin the tag team. I want to see them be great. Ooh, that was a nice move what Ospreay did. That was a really nice move. I'm not gonna lie. For someone that had a brutal match over the weekend, he's just definitely putting it in the work. Jordan forget it. Or Ospreay's looking like his old New Japan. Yeah. Make sure to check out I know I've seen archive footage of him when he was in New Japan. He's kicking Hechisero's head. Oh, look at Hechicero. He's pulling off his suspenders. Nice move. Hechicero, he's like, not today. Because he's really putting moves in. Yeah, you can see Marina Shafir sitting in the corner. And Ospreay wants to end this thing. Ooh, that was a nice counter Hechicero did. That was a very nice counter. Two. Ospreay has his foot on the ropes. What's that creep doing here? Oh, and if you can see the band, it's pink for Kyle Fletcher. Look at that creep do it. See. Yes, Jeffrey, I agree. Get your butt back in commentary. You got no business in this match. I want somebody to really I just really want somebody to punch him. Moxley did it, and so did Kenny. But it looks like Dr. Sampson is coming in and checking on Will Ospreay. Because that Sarah looked like he was putting a beating. But it looks like but we're in picture. Marina Shafir is looking on. Dr. Sampson. See, this was smart. I know, people. But, Will Ospreay is a very prideful person. He just wants to wrestle and just wants to... Yeah, it looks like the match. I would say the match is still going on because Dr. Sampson's in the ring, but Hechicero's like, I don't care. I just want to beat up on Will Ospreay. That's what it looks like. And like I said, Marina Shafir is looking at ringside onto Will Ospreay. So, look at Marina. She's like, she doesn't look, but Jeffrey, she doesn't look really concerned. I mean, that's just her and the Death Riders. That's just concerning. Dr. Sampson has a busy night. Actually, he had a busy weekend. I had to help Kenny backstage after Dynasty. And now he has to check on Will Ospreay. It's funny the match is still going on in picture. Well, she is. She's a very pretty and beautiful woman, Marina Shafir is. That's why Roddy, well, not that, but and that's why she's married Roddy. And people don't believe me that she's married to Roderick Strong, but that is his wife. But Hechicero, he's really milking that neck injury. I'm surprised they haven't called this match. Well, it would be kind of pointless if they did. It would be pointless if they ended this match during picture. But I guess they wanted to wait till they're back on live TV. And it's hard to believe we have the TBS title and we have the AEW women's title. That is true. You can't let her looks fool you because I've seen her matches in Defy Wrestling when she was, well, I think she still is the reigning Defy Women's Champion. Her matches are no joke. They are no joke. Don't let her looks fool you. There's a reason why Jon Moxley brought her into AEW. But we are back live with AEW Dynamite, where we have a second bonus match between Will Ospreay and Hechicero. We do have Marina Shafir watching at ringside, and we did see right before we got back on picture-in-picture, Dr. Sampson and the referee was checking on Will Ospreay's neck, but it looks like the match is still going. But it looked like Hechicero is taking advantage of it. Oh my God, Hechicero. I was saying the fans are really backing Hechicero in this. He ain't gonna stay down, Jeffrey. He has too much pride on him. Quick kick out by Will Ospreay. I hope if Will Ospreay wins this match, take the whole next week off. Take next week off. And even Bryan Danielson has concern because he's a person that's had many neck surgeries. What's Will Ospreay gonna do here? Oh, look, ring around the pin. Quick kick out by Ospreay. Quick kick out. I know Lance Archer, he's like looking. I know, Jeffrey, but my gal Alex Winslow is fine. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time she saw her man get hurt, but I'm sure she's a tough cookie. Same thing with Renee. I think how many times Renee's seen her husband mocks in so many matches, it's just like, really? So I think Alex is going to be fine. And Hechicero's trying to put a submission hold on it. Oh my goodness. He's really going through that arm, shoulder. Oh, looks like he's fading a bit. Well, Ospreay, but he's trying to hang on. He's trying to hang on. Well, Jeffrey, with Lance Archer, because I know, here's the thing. He was in a tag team match with Brian Cage, but unfortunately, Brian Cage got injured. And Lance Archer, and I don't like to use this term wisely, he was in a few trios matches. He was in tag team matches with the Don Callis family. But he's doing some work. I guess he's like a bodyguard. 3. And your winner is Will Ospreay. It's a good match, by the way. But Will Ospreay survived. Now get some rest. And you can take the week off next week. You should take next week off. Referees checking in on Will Ospreay, see if he's okay. Marina Shafir looks unimpressed with the victory over Hechicero. But Will Ospreay is looking at Marina Shafir because he's trying to send a message to Jon Moxley. Oh, look at Don Callis, you stay out of this. This is none of your business. Get out of here. Oh, man. Well, Jake Doyle, formerly known as Jake something, came in. No, that's not Jake Doyle. That's Mark Davis. Because I keep forgetting his tag team partner's injured. But that's Mark Davis. Obviously, of course, Don Callis and MJF have a deal, and they're trying to take out every person that gets in their way regarding the AEW World Title. Darby Allin, Will Ospreay, Kenny, many other people. Many other people. So, and you noticed Andrade is not out here. Please say 2 weeks off. Yeah. I know. Gonna be very interesting what Anarchy in the arena is gonna look like. And we're gonna see what happened on Dynasty on Sunday because Kamille out of nowhere attacked Willow Nightingale, and it looks like she's making a statement for herself. But up next, we have the TBS title. No, Boza, not be careful. I'm not really too worried about Willow. Oh, Renee, and she has Tekla. Well, she is the reigning AEW Women's Champion, the Toxic Spider. Well. Oh, Alex Windsor? What's she doing out here? I mean, I know there's Alex Windsor because I know she's the reigning New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Alex Windsor wants a piece of it. Oh my God. She is not. She is she is the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Alex Windsor. Hey, that's my girl, Alex Windsor. She's looking for a fight. But I really want Jamie to be the one to do it. Don't have a problem with Alex. Oh, Collision. Oh, and we see the Sisters of Sin taking out poor Alex Windsor. She learned. See, this is what happens when you learn from a former AEW Women's Champion, because she teamed up with Toni Storm, and she also she's now teaming up with Jamie Hayter, a former AEW Women's Champion. So I love this. So tomorrow on Collision, we have a title match between Alex Windsor and Tekla. She is a brute, but they're the buds. I don't know, Boza, if they're going to surprise us on Thursday, because, I mean, it would be interesting if they did pull it off, but I'm happy Alex Windsor. But could we get Alex 2 belts? I'm just saying. I mean, we shall see, Boza. Does Alex head to Mania on a roll? Well, she is building momentum, and she's also defending the New Japan Strong Women's Championship on Friday's show for Stardom. So we shall see. But yeah, Alex Windsor took down both Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So you don't mess with the Brawling Birds. Do not mess with them. But yeah, we got 2 more matches after this. We have Willow Nightingale and Kamille. And we have the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God. I can't believe it. There may be some surprises, because you never know in the world of professional wrestling. There's always some surprises. And since we are on commercial, we're going to have an opportunity to stretch, get our beverages, get everything else settled, because we do have 2 big matches after this. So make sure to do that. We're going to take a quick commercial break right before our 2 co-main event matches. And just in time for Jon Moxley. Oh, he's getting ready for Nick Wayne tomorrow. Ah! Leave your mom in the back. Well, John Mox is telling you to bring it, man. He's telling you to bring it. He's telling you to bring it. All right. So we have the ladies in action. We have the TBS title. I gotta Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey. I know he's a fan of Willow Nightingale. And Renee's been having a busy night being a ringside correspondent, interviewing backstage. I hope she gets overtime pay for all the work that she's putting in. And she's also a good friend here in WWT. But we got to see Kamille return in the biggest way possible, attacking Willow Nightingale. And she gets an opportunity for the TBS title. But Miss Willow, I know she was hurt, but we shall see how she is. Because I know she's feeling it from Dynasty. I want to see. Oh, trust me, Jeffrey, you will see Megan Bain and Kamille fight. It's just a matter of time. And it's kind of crazy because the last time we saw Kamille, she left Mercedes Moné as her bodyguard and was knocked out cold. But before Mercedes gets her AEW women's title, she has some finished business with Kamille. So it's going to be very interesting. And also, Detective Courtney is on the case because who attacked Toni Storm? That is the $1 million question because there are many suspects. There are many suspects that want to take out Toni Storm. Exactly. So Detective Courtney's on the case trying to find out who attacked Toni Storm because there's many suspects to choose from. Many. It's just you have to pay attention to the women's division. Who is willing to take that advantage and opportunity? It could be. I mean, I could do a segment on. That's what I'm saying. It could be Mina. It could be Kamille. There's many possibilities. But I think Detective Courtney is going to make a segment because I'm going to wait till after WrestleMania weekend because there's a lot happening. But there's a lot of things on this case because, like I said, Detective Courtney is going to be on the case on thinking who I think attacked Toni Storm. And there's a specific reason why. Because there's many suspects around here. Many. And it doesn't have to be. And it's also official, ladies and gentlemen. We have an AEW World Women's Championship match. We have Tekla taking on my gal Alex Windsor. And it's going to be a good match, by the way, too. I do hope they run it back with Jamie. Oh, Inspector Gadget. I love Inspector Gadget. Jordan from Canada. I love Inspector Gadget. I don't know if we get 2 belts because I want to see Jamie Hayter get that. Oh, yeah, they're going to run Jamie and Tekla back. I think they're going to run that back with Jamie and Tekla for Double or Nothing. I could see that happening. Yes, Inspector Gadget was so good. Theme song was great. It was like go Gadget skates, go Gadget umbrella, go Gadget pair. It was just so cool and insanity. But this is a really good physical match between Kamille and Willow Nightingale. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this thing. Do you have Kamille winning, or do you have Willow Nightingale still retaining the TBS title? Because I know there's a lot of fans that love Willow Nightingale. But yeah, I think once WrestleMania week is over, I think I'm going to put out my detective gear because, like I said, there's many suspects that attacked Tony Storm. We just have to figure out who the main suspects are and why the reason. Kissy say never exactly. They didn't know how good cartoon shows were. We had Inspector Gadget. Obviously, of course, we had the Disney afternoon cartoons with DuckTales, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. Then Aladdin had a cartoon series. The Little Mermaid had a cartoon series. There's so many cartoon series. So many good cartoons we had as kids. And even when you look at some of the programming now for kids, it's just like, huh? What? Yes, Jeffrey, Cartoon Network had some banging cartoons. Like they had Dexter's Laboratory, they had the Powerpuff Girls, they had Cow and Chicken, which Cow and Chicken was an interesting cartoon. But they had Dexter, they had Powerpuffs, they had Courage the Cowardly Dog, Looney Tunes is another one. Codename Kids Next Door, they had some pretty good, solid original cartoons. And of course, like every Friday, they did Cartoon Fridays. It was like every Friday they would do all the cartoons and something you could do on a Friday night. They do. It's just so much fun. We had so much cool cartoons growing up as kids. It's like when you look at the cartoons now, it's just like, ugh. And even when you hear about Cartoon Network's website shutting down and seeing all these layoffs that are happening and the channels that we loved as kids, it's just very hard. But yes, Scooby-Doo is another one. Always love Scooby-Doo. I mean, how can you not love Scooby? But I'm looking at the picture-in-picture right now. It looks like Kamille's taking a lot of advantage on Willow Nightingale, especially on the injured shoulder that she attacked on Dynasty over the weekend. Hated the 3D. Yeah, some of these 3D cartoons, it was just a little odd. You need to go back to old school animation. That was always the best. Really, really, really the best. But we're back live for AEW Dynamite where we have the TBS Championship match. We have Kamille taking on Willow Nightingale. And that was a nice move Kamille did, I'm not going to lie. And she's back from doing American Gladiators, along with Wardlow, too, because that's the question. Where's Wardlow? That's another $1 million question. Where is Wardlow? Ooh, that was a nice clothesline that Willow did to Kamille. Ooh, she pounced on Kamille. You know, the last time I see Kamille get woman handles was when she faced off against Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander put a butt whooping on her. Cannonball. It's like, how can you not like... I know everyone in the chat is rooting for Willow, which I love to see. That we all want Willow to retain. Because she's a tough cookie. She's been through it all. I know she had neck surgery, she had everything else. So Jeff Metterling, to answer your question, I think we may be doing a watch along for WrestleMania Saturday. Not sure about Sunday, though, but I know Saturday. Oh, man, that was a nice move by Kamille. Yes, I want her. Yeah, the conglomeration, they got some gold. The conglomeration got some gold. We have a TBS champion. We also have the trios champions with the conglomeration. Very curious on who's going to be the person to step up to the plate. And yes, Jordan, you should be impressed by Kamille. Happy she's back. I hope this run that she has now It's a little bit more different than previous one. But like I said, before Mercedes gets her title, she needs to have a confrontation with Kamille first. So at least we can get to the bottom of it. But Kamille is really putting on that shoulder onto Willow. Ugh. I know, it's getting massaged not in the best way. Because Kamille has been targeting that arm lately. 3. She had her on her shoulders, and your winner and still TBS champion is Willow Nightingale. And Boza, I'm going to say this right now. Tony Khan needs to do a web series or social series on the conglomeration. Just call it Conglomeration Boulevard and take a spin off 90210. That's what you need to do. And that would be crazy if they did that. I would just love that. I wouldn't mind watching on socials. But here comes Willow. She retained the TBS title. I think there's going to be an interesting rivalry between her and Kamille. Because I feel like this is not over between these two ladies. And we hear from Sheeta and Chris Statlander. And it's crazy. They're a tag team because they were former rivals. So they'll be in action tomorrow. So they're teaming up tomorrow. I know. This is like the most speaking I've heard of Hikaru Shida in so long. And finally they're utilizing her. Yay! Well, here comes the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF. Yes, and I'm happy this time. Here comes Renee talking with Darby Allin right before one of the biggest matches since he's been in AEW. It's Sting! There's Sting! How can you not like Sting? He said, it's your time. How can you not have a man like Sting in your corner? Look at everybody in Washington. Oh my God. I would love for Darby to win it. I don't even care. Because like I said, Sting's like, it's showtime. He is a great one. I mean, how can you not learn from the icon Sting? That's why I said, it's Sting! I mean, our producer from the future wanted to come in. Dylan, how many times do you get to see Sting after he retires? How many times do you get to see that? I mean, it would have been nice to see, like, if he did win, make a surprise. Like, if Darby did win, like, they could have saved Sting towards the end. But, I mean, it was a nice backstage segment moment. But this is the last commercial break before we wrap up AEW Dynamite. But we're here for the main event. He could have came out in the end and it would have been a surprise. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy to see Sting backstage. I'm happy to see him backstage supporting his friend Darby. But like I said, the last time they were in the Everett, Seattle area, Darby Allin won the TNT Championship against Samoa Joe. Shockingly enough, Sting gave him some encouragement right before his big match against Samoa Joe. So, yes. Yeah. It'll be an interesting full circle moment. So, I mean, how can you not love Sting? But it's always nice to see Sting. But here we go. We got our main event happening. It's hard to believe we're wrapping things up. Where has the time gone? Where has the time gone? No, I don't think it would overshadow. Well, you know, it's really crazy. I think because it is WrestleMania week, everybody wants to overshadow everything. I want Darby to win this organically. I don't want this to be forcing, here you go, this is your title. You're the AEW World Champion. Like, even if it wasn't on WrestleMania week, I want this to be authentic and organic and a full circle moment. I just don't want to be shoved down our throats, but we shall see. Just stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. And also the replay for Dynasty is up now. Well, actually, they're continuing the fallout for Dynasty and spring break through tomorrow. But what can you do, Dylan? Tony wants to do what he wants, so I don't know. Well, there's many people that should have won it. And plus, I like that. I don't know if they planned this to be in Everett. I mean, I'm happy it's in Washington. There's many people that should have won it 4 or 5 years ago. Orange Cassidy could have won it. He could have won it. But it's always a good feeling. Well, here comes the challenger, Darby Allin. It's crazy we're in Everett, Washington, and that's the city that he trained. Not far from his hometown, Seattle. But like I said, the last time Darby was in this similar spot, he actually beat up on Samoa Joe for the AEW TNT Championship. But Darby's family's there. And I think that's his wife in the crowd. Well, that's your wife in the crowd, but we shall see. And it's crazy. Ryan Danielson's doing commentary, but this is the main event. I just don't want to be forced. Like, here you go. Here you go. But here we go. We have the reigning and defending AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF. I wouldn't be shocked if MJF taunted Darby's family. That would be something. I don't know if I want that. I don't think Darby's going to scream, I'm going to Disney World. I think he's going to say, I'm going to ride my skateboard. I don't think he's going to scream and say, I'm going to Disney World. He'll just go on his skate park and just do what he does best. That's it. But it would have been kind of funny if MJF taunted. I'm pretty sure he's going to taunt his family. I think MJF is probably going to taunt his family during his match. But here we go. We have no commercial breaks after Disney World. Well, yeah, that too. But I think Darby Allin's going to think of going to the skate park and skate riding with Tony Hawk. Tony freaking Hawk, by the way. Oh my God, climb another mountain. I think he's already climbed up one mountain. I don't think he needs to do it again. But we're tearing it up. Justin Roberts doing the introduction. Darby Allin. Everybody's chanting for Darby. And that is the city that he trained, Everett, Washington. The banner is always better. Oh, well, yeah, because that's his Triple B. That's his custom belt. And plus, I love it when some of the stars customize their own belts. Because I don't think we ever had that for... I don't think Swerve ever did a customized belt when he was champion. But I love that AMJF was able to customize it the way he wants. Same thing with Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. He customized... Well, before he got injured, he customized it being pink and called it Pinky. I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Knight customize that TNT championship belt, but yes, Dylan, this is in Everett, Washington. As I mentioned throughout the night, Everett, Washington is the city where Darby trained at, and Everett is not that far from Seattle, which is Darby's hometown. So, yep, we're in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, Darby's gonna customize it. But here we go. We have the AEW World Title, Darby, MJF. Listen, if Darby wins tonight, just let the man hold the belt for a month. Let him hold it until Double or Nothing, and just let him lose it. Just let him hold it for a month. MJ Max is like, time out, time out, time out. Yes, Brian Danielson is from Aberdeen, Washington. Oh, Lordy, of course. Yeah, Brian Danielson's from Aberdeen. Swerve is from Tacoma, Washington. Darby gave MJF a low blow. Please don't give me any spoilers for the chat, because I want to see this happen. I want this to be a good physicality. I want to see. Is he going to really do it? No way! Please don't give me any hopes. He's really going to do it? Is he really going to do it? No way! He did 3 coffin drops. I thought this was going to be a fight, or like a physical fight. Coffin drop number 4. I'm kind of happy it's not against Mox. No way! Oh my god! They gave him the freaking title! Wow. Your winner and new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Darby Allin. You know, it's funny, that's the second time MJF had some of a squash match. First, it was against Brody. Second, it was against Darby. But wow, Darby Allin is now AEW World Champion. I don't think Tony got desperate. I just think you just need to have a little bit of fun with it. I could care less about the narcs of the world, but Darby Allin is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Wow. I'm okay with it because I'm happy he did lose it to MJF, which is a rival of his, instead of Mox. And also because it's nice that they did it in his hometown of Washington. Well, here comes everyone from the back. Everyone that's been there from day one. Brody, the Conglomeration, Orange, the Outrunners, Dark Order, Some of them have all been there from day one. And that's his wife in the stands too. And he just got married, by the way, recently. I hope they bring his parents in. Please let them bring in Sting. Please, please, please. Please let them bring in Sting. Please. That's all I want. Just please let them bring in Sting. Who's coming out more? But yeah, Orange. All these little babies. There's the Young Bucks, which I'm very surprised the Young Bucks came out of nowhere. He's getting the fireworks. You know, it's funny. It's always a feeling because the last time fire confetti happened was when he won the TNT championship against Samoa Joe. This feels very different. Yeah. But I know Sting was backstage. He does. You know, I really could care less in Tony's mindset. This was actually a good feeling for Darby Allin to be AEW World Champion. I just need Sting to come out. I need Sting. And there he is. It is Sting! Sting! You can't have a celebration without the icon. I'm not mad. You know, people can say whatever they want, but this is a really good feeling moment. There's the Rascals. I would have liked it. I know. It would have been nice to see Bryan Danielson come out too. But I'm pretty sure they're going to probably roll this afterwards. And then they got to switch over. And then this is the double taping. So they have to switch over to Collision for double taping. But yeah, Darby Allin is your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Oh my. Hold on, let me find my remote. Oh my. I just can't believe it. Darby Allin is the new AEW. Nope, it's not going to be long because they have to. I know you don't want it to end, but it has to end because I know tonight they're doing a double taping at Dynamite and Collision. So I thought it was going to be a physical match between them. I really thought it was going to be a physical one, but we've seen most of the locker room come out. Some of them been there since day one as well. It's crazy. But congratulations to Darby Allin on being the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, he's the champ. I just can't believe it. Oh my God, we're going to have a field day on this on Friday. That pretty much ends Timeless Elite Wednesday with me. I'm still, I have no words. I'm happy. It's a feel-good moment. Yeah, like I said, let Darby hold it on for a couple weeks. Let him hold it on for a month. And we'll see where this goes. I'm actually happy he did beat MJF because I know people say it's a missed opportunity with Mox, but I'm happy he did it with a rival that he's familiar with in the beginning of AEW. I mean, I know Mox, he's like the top guy, nice and everything, but I'm happy it is one of his familiar rivals that he knows very well. And also, I think it would be very interesting because the way that those two handled, and also the fact too, you had Sting. I mean, you had the icon Sting there. It was just momentum. I want to see where this is going to go with Darby. I want to see where this is going to go. I'm hoping they do position him as a champion and he gets to do some, not a lot, but I'm hoping he does get to do some media opportunity. I don't think Tekla is going to lose her belt. If anything, I could see her losing it probably at Allin Wembley Stadium. I don't see her losing it anytime soon. probably in August. Dylan, let's put the brakes because if we're talking about the women's division in AEW, you gotta go with my lady Toni Storm. Now, granted, her first 2 reigns were really interesting, but I will say when she got to her 3rd reign as women's champ, she did pretty solid. Best champion, let's put the bricks. I gotta say Toni Storm had a very good reign. And also, I gotta look back. I gotta look back at some of these reigns for the women's title because there's some that I remember, but there are some I gotta look back on to see of a few reigns. But actually, no, before I don't know about Toni versus Tekla. I'm waiting on Jamie versus Tekla because I feel like Jamie and Tekla need a round 2. And I need Jamie Hayter, my other gal from the UK, because I need her to beat the absolute shit out of Tekla. There's some reigns there is some women's title reigns I have to look back on because some I remember, some it's just a blur. I have to look at a few reigns back there. But Toni had one of the best reigns. But it was a really great, solid show. I'm still Darby Allin's a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, wow. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday for me because we took you to the Pacific Northwest. And now we're getting ready. Friendly reminder, Collision is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Yes, I want Jamie versus Tekla more than anything. I need them two to go at it because I need Jamie Hayter to really beat the shit out of her. It needs to happen. Boss man, you need to have Jamie versus Tekla. Exactly. And I love that Jamie is being on her own because I feel like she's in a more position now than she was when she first started her reign. And I love that Jamie's in a good position now. And also, well, Dylan, I hope you get some sleep. You deserve some sleep. Just get some sleep. I know you put a lot of work in, but just get some sleep. But I think Jamie's in a good position now because if you saw her interview with Denise, she is finding herself on who is Jamie Hayter. Then she had to deal with an injury. She had to deal with a visa and really trying to find herself. But I think she's in a good spot now because she is teaming up with Alex Windsor of the Brawling Burge, which actually makes sense. They are a good tag team together. Yes, she's in a better place now because, teaming up with Alex Windsor and also really chasing gold. But Jamie and Tekla need to have a round 2. I really want them to have a good rivalry, not riding up the coattail of Mariah May and Toni Storm, but I feel like if they can execute on better planning between Tekla and Jamie Hayter, I think it could be a good, solid rivalry for the women's division of 2026. But that's a whole conversation we'll save for another day. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday with me. It's been a fun night in the Pacific Northwest. Darby Allin's your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Wow, it's really nice to see. Friendly reminder, Collision is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So make sure to set your reminders, your DVRs, everything to it. Also, TNA is also tomorrow night too. But yeah, we're getting ready for WrestleMania weekend happening. I just can't believe it's here this weekend. But if you are traveling for Vegas, just make sure to stay safe. Go to many events. Network with as many people, create connections, and just have a really fun experience. I know I will be watching from afar. I will be watching from my home at WrestleMania this weekend. But I know we have a few people from our team that are on the ground. They are going to be doing some work. So definitely shout out to them. You can find me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 because I do have some content happening. Got a lot of stuff happening in the coming weeks and months. I'll tell you more about it. Also, make sure to follow ISBW Wrestling. I will be back on commentary Friday, May 1st, for our Golden Ticket Rumble, all the guys from ISPW Wrestling will be in the same ring at the same time. So you better get ready for that. Make sure to check out the reigning ISPW Women's Champion Vicious Vicky in her interview with Boss Lady. It was a really good interview and definitely recommend checking it out. Also, like I said, feel free. And also, I may do a little series because Detective Courtney is on the case on who attacked Tony Storm. And I do have a lot of stuff. And there's some suspects that I do think could have done it. And yes, Dylan, we do have 80s Wrestling Con on May 16th. Myself and Honey will be there. There's many people there. Coco Beware, Ted DiBiase, Wendy Richter, many others will be there. So make sure to check out me and Honey for that. You do not want to miss it. And take a trip back in time to the 80s. And thank you, everybody, for joining with me in the chat, because you guys have been so active throughout the night. Happy to see the chat going on. Shout out to our producer from the future, Dylan, Boza, Jordan from Canada, Jeffrey. I just want to make sure Aaron Teagle popped on, Jeff Metterling popped on. So happy that all of you got to join in the chat with me. And it was very, very fun. I know, confetti for Darby. But thank you all for joining Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening, and I will see you.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.